Guys, let's be honest. We all know someone that smokes, or in more recent years, somebody that vapes. It's a really nasty habit, and it's very hard to break. That's why you gotta check out Fume. Fume is the natural inhaler designed for a better, safer, and natural way to quit cigarettes. It's a no smoke, no vape, and no nicotine replacement for the hand-to-mouth habit of smoking. Fume handcrafts wooden inhalers and uses cores infused with plant oil studied to curb cravings. They have flavors like peppermint and Concord with minty notes to simulate menthol cigarettes and other flavors like cozy chai and lemon berry bliss for a sweeter experience. And all of their flavors are 100% natural. No harmful chemicals, no artificial flavors, and absolutely no nicotine. Last time I mentioned my Aunt Paulette, and I told you she's been trying out Fume. Guys, she loves it, and I'm happy to report she's on her way to quitting. Fume really can help with thousands of 5-star reviews. Give it a try. Head to breathefume.com/Chael. Use the promo code Chael and save 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off your entire order when you head to breathefume.com/Chael. And be sure you use the promo code Chael. Once upon a time, I got to fight Jon Jones. Now, please hear my words, because that's how I felt. I've got to fight Jon Jones. Not I want to fight Jon, and not I get to fight Jon. I got to fight Jon Jones. Here's the order. Here's the way it goes. Now, I had never competed within that weight class, and there was a lot of guys that did some pretty heavy lifting, and boy, they spoke out, and some of them were my very close friends. Very close friends saying Chael doesn't deserve this opportunity. They were upset. They even did this publicly. To hell with our personal relationship. It was so wrong that Chael's going to fight Jon Jones. It's so wrong that I must speak out about it. I remember as those people were all saying it. I remember thinking, guys, you're upset with me. You're upset with me for having an opportunity that many other men were offered and all said no to. You're upset with me for willing to step forward, but all the same, this was not I get to fight Jon. This is not I am going to fight Jon. This is I got to fight Jon. I'm going to beat him. I'm going to beat him, and here's my case. I'm 36 years old. He's a 23-year-old kid. I've never lost at 205 pounds. I was the king of 185. Anderson Silva's ranked in front of Jon Jones, and I whipped Anderson Silva for 6 out of 6 rounds. 2 of them were 10-8s. This kid wrestled, I wrestled better. This kid can box, I boxed better. I'm laying out my case. Go and do an interview. And it was not long before that fight. Now, I had succeeded wildly with the media in captivating the idea that I was the guy. And Jon helped with that. Jon helped with that because he said he had problems with southpaws, and at one point he turned me down. So it's working, right? This is working and we're getting closer. Week before the fight, UFC's on Fox. I do a live interview. And during the interview, right, I'm going to beat this kid. I'm going to stop this kid. He's never going to take me. I'm going to do all these different things to him was to build to this fight. And in this interview on live television, I said, he's very good. I might go down. But if I go, I'll go like a gangster and I'll be firing the entire time. That was my line. I get into the back, Steve Becker meets me. Steve Becker was the producer for Fox. He said, this is the first interview you've done about this fight that I didn't like. I said, what? Generally, I get in the back and Becker tells me what a genius I am. Tells me how much he enjoyed it, what a high spot of the show. I look forward to that interaction because he's always patting me on the back. He said, it's the only one you've done I didn't like. I said, why? I mean, I covered the who, what, when, why, where. I worked in the gangster angle. I got a semi-auto, I'm firing. I mean, right, this is a hot, fiery thing. I'm face-to-face with Jon. He said, because it's the first time ever you've implied you might not beat him. You said I might go down. It is the first time you, who has been selling confidence, looked unsure. And I took that with me. I remember that. 2012. Charles Oliveira came out this morning and said, I'm going to shock the world. I'm going to beat Islam Makhachev. And now I understand what Steve Becker was trying to say to me a decade ago. Charles Oliveira has claimed and convinced many that he's still the champion of the world, that he's going to be defending a belt, that Islam doesn't even deserve this opportunity. Not only can Islam not beat him, Islam shouldn't even be in there with him. Charles has said Islam does his best work on top. I will start in that position and I will beat this guy easily. I will knock him out if we stay on the feet, and I will outdo him on the ground if he can even get me there. And now he came out and said it will shock the world if he wins. When this fight was announced, DraftKings had it a 3-1 spread for Islam. I covered this and followed it very closely, and at one point, and it only stayed there for about it was 11, 12 hours, it went the other way where Islam was a 3.5-1 favorite. They're damn near even money right now. -140 to +170. That's damn near, for colloquial terms, even money. But that is a wild change in the spread. That is millions and millions of dollars. Came in on Charles. Now, Charles isn't any better today than when that fight was announced, at least not that we've seen. Islam has not changed for better or worse since this fight was announced, at least not that we've seen. Neither has fought. No new information is coming in. It has all been done by words in the media, and Charles convinced millions upon millions of dollars around the globe that he's the guy. And today he came out and said it would shock the world if he were to win. What does that mean? What does it mean? Because there's two ways to look at it. Before you think that Charles just conceded something, which is how that's going to be read a little bit, where Charles is conceding that he's the rightful underdog. Well, he's conceding that Islam with a beautiful record and 16-1, and the one was years ago and all this different stuff, and he doesn't even belong there. They shouldn't be on Fight Island, and the judges are already corrupt, so we get to that point. Is now saying, yeah, it would be a surprise. It would surprise the world. I'm not supposed to do this. However, he's already convinced the world, which is why the odds went from 3.5 at one point to damn near even money. Who is it he's going to surprise? Does he plan to surprise the world? Because they have put millions on him. They've put millions on him against the house and told DraftKings you did a bad line. You have a bad line, which is why you opened at 3-1, and now it's -140 to +170. It seems as though the world's already been convinced. So what's Charles talking about? Does he really mean that he is going to shock the world? Or did he just disclose he's going to shock himself? Now, while you hear that and think that that would be a negative, I have to tell you, sports announcers will always talk about who has the pressure. But they never explain to the audience why that matters. Now, that's not because they think the audience knows. It's because the sports announcers don't know. They've just heard the word. That's why most of your big announcers don't have any rings or medals. Most of them never did the game. They don't even know the game. They can just sit there in a nice suit and look as though they have a confidence within the game. They don't take the time to explain to you, the audience, why pressure matters, because they don't know. Pressure matters for one reason. Whoever feels it has a chemical release that creates a fatigue. If you care less than your opponent, you will reach exhaustion at a slower rate. Scientifically and chemically speaking. So why Charles Oliveira might have just showed us a different side of his hand. He might have. He might have also alleviated some pressure from himself. He might enjoy going into a fight as acclaimed and as spirits and as decorated he is as an underdog. He might enjoy going to Fight Island where he believes it's already up against him. That can be interpreted as a negative. in a preconceived notion. It can also alleviate pressure. I don't know. I'm just bringing this to you because the comment jumped off the page, and I did have to reflect back to my Steve Becker moment when I made the comment about Jon Jones. This is the first time that Oliveira has revealed or made a statement of any kind that this was going to be anything but a foregone conclusion. I'm just asking you. I'm bringing you the quote, but now I want to ask you, what do you think of that? What do you make of it? And not only how will it affect the fight, moreover, how will it affect his approach to the fight?